I'm a working girl, and people often ask about my STI status or how I prevent myself getting STIs while in this line of work. And it is an interesting topic for conversation, but I want to start by saying there are studies out there, at least for here in Australia, the working girls of Australia, that we are the least infected group of people in the population. This is likely because with our STI status being our livelihood and our income, we are, I guess, more educated on the topic because we have to be, and we are more cautious than the majority of the population. With that said, I do want to say that a lot of the talk around STIs, I feel like personally, is very fear-mongering and making these things out to be big scary monsters, when in actual fact they aren't. I'm not going to go on a deep dive into every single one here because it's going to end up being a 10-minute video, but the most common ones I hear people talk about are herpes and HPV, both of which can be spread even when using protection. Around about 80% of the population in Australia has HSV, 10 or 12% of those is type 2, and HPV is super common here too. I think they say like 70% of people have had it at some point in their lives. The body generally clears it out itself, and men can't even be tested for it. There are a few strains that are super concerning with it that can cause cancer, cervical cancer, throat cancer, and also the warts downstairs. But a lot of us, myself included, were vaccinated against HPV in school. It is not a vaccination of every single strain. It's just the strains most likely to cause cancer and warts. So like if you've ever had a wart on your finger or on your leg or anything like that, that is a form of HPV. So most of the strains are pretty well harmless. Chlamydia and gonorrhea are pretty common for working girls to end up with at some point in their career. I've been super lucky and I haven't caught anything while I've been working, which is wild considering I've been doing this for 4 years. But these two are super common if protection is to break or they do uncovered in here. However, there's a lot of ways that you can sort of predict that somebody has these things. I shouldn't say predict because it's not like a supernatural prediction. It's just signs and symptoms of it when you're doing a health check. Of course, there are people that show no signs and symptoms and there's no way that you could know. One of the main things that I'll mention, because I don't want to make this video too long, is the weird stringy dischargey stuff when you go to do the health check before they've showered. That is on there. That is normally a sign that something is wrong. Something looks weird, just don't do the service. It's honestly not worth the risk. It's better to just say, no, I don't feel comfortable because of XYZ. I'm seeing this down there. You should get that checked out. And I guess while I've got 30 seconds left, the big scary bad wolf is HIV. So I'm actually on PrEP myself. With our healthcare system here in Australia being so great compared to the rest of the world, most people here who are HIV positive are on medication for that. And if that medication is correct, they can actually have a viral load of 0, which means that even if I was to have unprotected with them, I can't get it. It's also super rare to contract HIV in the throat, even from someone who's not on antivirals. I think they're called antivirals. It's like a 0.0004% chance of getting it in here.